Do you know what gooning is?
Hold on, pause.
It's gonna come up a lot in this video. Brody, niggas wildin'. Chances are, if you've been on YouTube or any social media, you've definitely heard the meme. You definitely know what that is. But for those who don't know who it is, there's probably not a lot of you who don't. For those who don't know what it is, gooning is the act of becoming completely self-absorbed in the act of masturbation. These gooning sessions typically last between 30 minutes to 10 hours, according to research found on the Urban Dictionary. They went through some real research to find out how long gooning sessions last. Holy shit. Twitter is the worst thing that ever happened to the internet.
I wake up and I'm gooning, and I wake up to my edge, and I wake up and I'm mewing, but I'll be signal when I'm old. See, I don't like breaking streaks, but I can't control my edge, so I just choke around and keep my head down and hope I don't explode.
Now, this term has been used all over the internet, and it's like one of the biggest memed words in probably the entire world. You can see different people talking about it, people just saying it in their everyday phrases. I've even come across it on Twitter. It is incredibly hilarious to see people use that word. And a lot of people don't even know what that word means. Now, is this word important to this video? Yes, it is.
Mental health.
Of course, with Twitter, Instagram, and live stream services such as Kick constantly promoting OnlyFans models and the same amount of borderline softcore adult content, the term gooning has been a massive meme for everyone who has a social media account. I'm willing to bet that like more than 30% of you is subscribed to some mid OnlyFans model. Shame on you. Stop.
I think we need to move Lonzo.
That ain't no problem.
Huh?
That ain't no problem.
Well,
But I got a little bit off topic. I got a little bit off topic, okay? Today we're talking about manga and H-manga. For those who don't know what H-manga is, it's pretty much hentai, but we're gonna say H-manga so this video doesn't get hit by YouTube's community guidelines. For some reason, they hate the word. Yeah. So,
it's called hentai, and it's art.
if you are a massive dweeb, or if you're someone who's watched hundreds to thousands of different animes and read a lot of different mangas, well, congratulations. You are probably one of the unfortunate people who went down the rabbit hole that is known as hentai. There are millions. There are quite literally millions of different H mangas out there in the world, and some range between official mangas to doujin. A simple Google search and you'd find almost any H manga of any character, any story, anything you could possibly want. I'm pretty sure if you took one of your favorite actresses and added manga to the end of it, or doujin, you might find some. I found some Robert Downey Jr. doujins not too long ago. It was yeah. And again, if you get really curious and you're over the age of 18, I do recommend you being over the age of 18 if you really want to Google search any of this. And I suggest you take a look at websites such as Pixiv or DeviantArt, which is very well known for having art. And yeah, now the main reason for this video is, have you ever heard of a man named Yuji Suwa? And no, I'm not talking about the character from Detective Conan. I'm talking about the illustrator who wrote yeah, I can't really post any of his works because they're not YouTube friendly, but some of the things that he's definitely worked on is Digimon. He's made a lot of illustrations for the Digimon card game. Anything outside of that is relatively difficult to find because but one of his pen names goes under the name Beauty Hair. Why, I don't know. You guys choose some of the most incredibly creative names of all time. It's absolutely insane. Now, of course, this is important, and I need you to remember this because it will come up later. Now, if you know me, I like to browse the web. I like to read manga, and I like to watch anime. And yes, I am a degenerate sometimes, so I do read some of the stuff that's going to be talked about in this video. I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. Not ashamed.
It's called hentai, and it's art.
But I came across an anime that I watched a very long time ago, and I decided to rewatch it. An anime that goes by the name Shimanemani. Listen, my Japanese is not good. Don't make fun of me for it, okay? I try. I'm learning a little bit of Japanese because I plan on going in a couple of years. Pray for me because I'm really bad. I can't even speak English good, and that's my main language.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it?
Shimonetta is an absolutely fantastic anime. I love watching it, especially the cooking, the cookie scene. You all know the cookie scene I'm talking about, right? And let's not pretend like we wouldn't eat her cookies, okay? Anna is one of the best characters in the game. I'd love to eat her cookies. I told you beforehand, I'm a degenerate. And I'm okay with that.
最近では奥間くん自身を食べてしまいたいと考えるようになってしまっているんですの。ちょっとストップよ。そんなこと言われても止まりませんわ。いざ。
I found out the series was actually based upon an event that happened in 2004. What I didn't know was that there's a law based in Japan called Article 175 of the Japanese Penal Code that prohibits the explicit representation of genitals in overwhelming majority of cultural products. If you're confused right now, then I can kind of understand why, because we're talking about Japan right now. Japan, the country that has Akibara in it. A country well known for having some of the most insane, overly sexual, disgusting, most degenerate and kinky shit in the entire world. That is what Japan is incredibly known for. Where else are you gonna find tentacles being a common thing? Where else in America, where else in the world are you gonna find tentacles being a common thing? You won't. It's only in Japan. Only in Japan. And we're talking about a country that made works such as Bible Black and Euphoria. And in both of those H games, in both of those shows uncensored genitalia in its full glory. Also, if you know what Bible Black and Euphoria is, you are a degenerate. You are a degenerate. Stand up. Degenerate, stand up.
Nasty bitch.
Apparently, Japan has been cracking down on overly explicit media for the past 10 to 30 years now. It is a history of extreme censorship that in 1930, the death penalty was added to the list of punishments deemed acceptable for certain violations. Holy shit. Imagine you were just gooning off by yourself watching some 1930s I don't know, what were you watching? I don't even think you were watching anything during that time. You were just reading a magazine. So you found a little mag and you were gooning, and then the police breaks down your
Surprise,
your
motherfucker.
house, and then you get the death penalty. You get the death penalty just for stroking it. That is absolutely, yo, nowhere is safe. Nothing is safe. Nothing is safe anymore. God. For those who don't know what Article 175 is, a person who distributes, sells, or displays in public a obscene document or drawing or any other object shall be punished by imprisonment with work for not more than 2 years, a fine of not more than 2,500,000 yen, or a petty fine. The same shall apply to the person who possesses the same for the purpose of sale. So even it doesn't really matter if you sell it or buy it, you will be fined for having this document. Now, by reading this, I know you're probably thinking,
Oh no! Oh no! No!
this pretty much bans all H-mangas and hentais in all of Japan. Now, of course, there is a little clause in here which kind of explains why or how a lot of people who gets away with it, and that is the clause that says sells or displays in public. Because it says in public, if you have it privately, you should be fine, right? Because it's not a public place. You have it in the safety of your home, in the guard of your home. You have your little magazine. You should be completely fine. Now, that's what you think, right?
No! Of course not! No, 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 no! Of course not!
Now, to make this even more insane, apparently, According to the law, for legal arrest, a work is considered obscene if it arouses or stimulates sexual desire, or offends the common sense of modesty or shame, and violates proper concepts of sexual morality. Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean? Bro, you know, the craziest thing about this is that, like, I genuinely wonder if these guys have ever seen like a Cardi B music video. There's no way you're watching a Cardi B music video and you don't get stimulated with some kind of sexual desire. There's no way you hear the term, you hear the phrase.
He bought a phone just for pictures of this wet ass pussy. Pay my tuition just to kiss me on this wet ass pussy.
And you don't feel some sort of shame, some sort of modesty and shame that doesn't violate the proper concepts of sexual morality. There's no way. That has to mean that all Western music videos, movies, everything has been banned in Japan. That's what it has to mean, right? The very first movie in Japan to ever get hit was a movie called Black Snow that was made in 1965. The film director Tetsuji Takashi and distributor Satoru Murakami, I hit those names. I hit those names almost perfectly. You guys should give me props. Was arrested on public indecency charges for making the film. After a highly public and controversial trial, he was found not guilty, paving the way for more adult movies in Japan. So to all you gooners out there, to all you degenerates, you guys should be paying tribute, because he's the guy. These are the guys that paved the way for all of your freaky shit. That's where it started. Okay, but unfortunately not everything is rainbows and sunshines. In 2004, Yuji Suwa, Motonori Kishi, and Koichi Takada were prosecuted for producing and selling off hentai manga anthology known as Nishitsu. Remember when I said that Yuji Suwa was a name that was going to come back? This is the time. It's right now. Hopefully TikTok has not ruined your goldfish-like attention span too much.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna...
This all started when a father found his son's gooning material and got shocked by what he saw. What he saw was so disturbing that he filed a complaint to the Japanese parliament. You know, I gotta wonder what he saw that made him want to complain to the government. What he saw had to be so bad that he went to the government and wrote an official complaint. Brother, what did you see? What was it? Bro, it must have been some true crime shit. What the fuck? Obviously, the government uses this as a reason. To arrest the creators. Yuji Suwa, who was known as Beauty Hair, was one of the creators as he made the manga Nishitsu, or commonly known as Honey Room. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, and I'm going to say that I did read a little bit of these mangas for this video. I actually did a deep dive into it, and it's not really for me. I didn't really like it too much, but I'm going to say this, that if you know what Bible Black is, if you know what Euphoria is, I would even go as far as to say that if you know what Rants, if you know what that is, then this manga is pretty much on par with those mangas. If not, it's not even that bad. Like, compared to the mangas that I just said, it's nowhere near that. It's not even close. You ever seen the manga Dead 2? Dead 2 is significantly worse than what I just mentioned. Now, keep this in mind, because these guys got arrested for the manga that we're talking about. They got arrested and charged for making this manga that even in that time, in 2004, was not even the worst manga out there. Unfortunately, Yuji Sawa pleaded guilty to these charges since jail is scary. That is like the legit reason, allegedly, why he pleaded guilty, because jail is scary. The unfortunate part is that all of Suwa's works were removed from all marketplaces. Luckily, the Internet Archives exist, so if you're really curious, then you know it's only a Google search away. Quite literally, it's only or Google search away. I don't recommend it though. I genuinely don't. Now, the case was appealed to the High Court on arguments that the manga was not as indecent and explicit as much material on the internet, and that Article 175 violated the Japanese Constitution protection of freedom of expression, which is a valid reason to appeal. Like I said before, it's nowhere near as bad as the other artworks and the other stuff that's on the internet during that time. There's like quite literally some stuff out there that would make the most loyal veterans want to forever turn off their laptop. However, not only did the court stick to their ruling, but tripled the fine from 500,000 yen to 1.5 million yen. After this happened, many bookstores removed their adult-only sections in fear of being jailed and fined. Now, this probably has to be one of the most dumbest and most controversial cases in Japan. It was dumb. It was just completely dumb. To this day, H-manga is being distributed all over Japan, all over the internet. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure if you go to Akibara, you'll see some of the most batshit just insane shit. Now, if you take a look at the reasoning behind this verdict, it gets even dumber. Apparently, one of the reasons is that any adult who wants to read this type of manga is perverted enough to commit crimes of a sexual nature. I can't even read that sentence with a straight face. I can't even read it with a straight face because of how incredibly ignorant and stupid it is. Hey, parents, all of you parents out there, your kids can't play Call of Duty. They can't play Call of Duty because they might actually go shoot somebody.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Hey, you, Mrs. Johnson, your daughter probably shouldn't watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians. She's gonna want to be an OnlyFans model. That's the kind of logic that is being applied here. If you read these things, if you watch any of these materials, you're going to be a you're gonna end up being a criminal. Oh my god. And this is the logic of the Japanese government, who not till 2016, the age of consent was 13. This is the same logic that comes from that country. So what are we talking about here? What are we literally talking about here? Somewhat bright side, this hasn't really stopped H-mangas from being published, and it hasn't really stopped the flow of adult content in all of Japan. So all of you gooners out there, you're safe. You're pretty safe. But I will have to say that the Japanese government is kind of cracking down a little bit more on these cases, but it's really difficult to crack down because, again, there is the freedom of speech, the protection of freedom of expression. However, we can pretty much assume it's impossible to stop production, as there is quite literally millions of adult content distributed all over the internet, and probably thousands of hard copies distributed all over the world. So when we say that the Japanese government is going to crack down on this, good luck. Good luck, my guy. Absolutely good luck. But it's also, this law is one of the reasons why if you watch or read any of these adult content, it is censored. It is extremely censored, and it's because of these laws. Whenever you watch a anime or anything like that, you see that one bleak of light that's covering up the important bits, is because of the censorship. And Japan has not necessarily extreme censorship, but they do have pretty heavy censorship. Unfortunate part out of all of this is that the illustrator Yuji Suwa was put out of a job for a while, to the point to where even changing his pen name did not help. He changed his pen name a few times before he could actually get a decent job. It got to the point where his wife actually had to convince him that he has to find a real job. He had to find a different job, that this wasn't cutting it out for him. So this case pretty much almost ruined his life over what? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. The court case didn't stop anything. The court case didn't do shit. All it did was cause more controversy among the Japanese people, the community, and in the law. So what was the outcome of this? Nothing. It's just we got an anime out of it. That's what happened. That's what we got out of this court case. We got an anime. So again, I wanted to make a video on this because I found it absolutely entertaining. A little bit sad too, because this guy got arrested for making adult content that you can find quite literally anywhere in Japan. Now, keep in mind, this is all thanks to that one father who didn't want his son to be a full-time gooner. Well, that's all for this video. Just wanted to talk on it for a little bit. So until next time, fuck off.
I'm 2 days into gooning, and I'm 3 ages behind. All my friends, they call me Sigma, but I'm on my mewing grind. But doesn't really sit with me quite right, cause they don't wanna play OG Fortnite. And I keep accidentally edging myself in my room in the middle of the night. I wake up and I'm gooning, and I wake up to my edge. And I wake up and I'm mewing, but I'll be Sigma when I'm old. See, I don't like breaking streaks, but I can't control my edge. So I just joke around and keep my head down and hope I don't explode. Everybody's telling me that I'm doing so well. I try to raise them honestly, I find it hard to joke. If I watch Speed or I watch Sketch, I try my best, I try my best. I tell myself, I say aloud, it's fine, I'll goon until I edge. I tend to forget, I'm still only quite young. In a way, this gooning life has only just begun. I've got riz. I've got riz.
Yuji Suwa, okay, fuck me, he's gonna be a minute. In 2004, Yuji Suwa, Motonori Kishi, and Koichi Takada. Hey, screw me. Reading these names. Why is reading these names so difficult? I gotta learn Japanese. Okay.